agriculture, land and marine resources between 1991 and 1995. During that period, he also acted as Minister of Health, Minister of Education, Minister of Works and Transport, Minister of Finance, Minister of Energy and Minister of Planning and Development. He is also a former Minister of Housing and a former Minister of Trade and Industry. He attended the University of the West Indies, where he graduated with a doctorate in geology and is a former deputy political leader of our great party, that is the People's National Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, PNM family, Diego Martin, join me in welcoming to the microphone our analytical and fearless standard bearer and the next member of Parliament for the constituency of Diego Martin West, Dr. Rowley.
Thank you. Thank you. Political leader of the PNM, Mr. Patrick Manning, party chairman, party officers, PNM candidates on and off the head table, PNM supporters, friends, members of the district of Diego Martin, visitors to Diego Martin, welcome to this PNM gathering. I don't have a lot of time tonight, but I just want to share 2 points with you because I understand you're going to vote on Monday. And I understand that there are a lot of people at home listening to us or seeing us on television, and maybe they might share the concerns I have. I only have 2 concerns, because this is a very serious exercise, this election. And my first concern is that the PNM might lose. And my second concern is that the other side might win. And as a result of those 2 concerns, I want to point out to you, the people gathered here and elsewhere, that elections are good theater, good fun. We have a great time. We are allowed to bar talk one another. We are allowed to wear fancy jerseys, meet people we haven't met for a long time. But at the end of the day, the real purpose of an election is to elect competent people to manage your affairs in your interest. That is what you're called upon to do on polling day. Those of us in Diego Martin West, the furthest western part of the country, we've been looking east, north, south, and Tobago, reading documents and listening to persons who are offering themselves to replace us of the PNM. And the one thing that strikes me is that everything that is being said to justify our replacement is valid only until election day. After election day, you realize that what was the campaign all about? You see, I have to live here after election day. My family lives here. You live here. Your families live here. Enjoy the election campaign. But on election day, ask yourself, what is going to happen in this country after election day? I represent the PNM. I'm one of 41 PNM candidates. Our party is not a perfect party. No political party is perfect. Our political party is not about who like who. It's not about individuals. I'm sure you all are very, very clear on the fact that I have some serious difficulties with my party's leadership. But I'll tell you one thing. That is not the PNM. That is not the PNM. The PNM is about its fundamental principles and the policies that it pursues in your interests, how it governs in your interests. And therefore, when you go to vote, you vote not for who like who, but for what policies the PNM will pursue. And when you examine that, you understand. Let's look at competence. We are probably not the last word in competence. I'm sure somewhere in the national community there are people far more competent than the PNM lineup. But they haven't shown their faces. They haven't put their hands up and said they want to run for elections. They haven't said they want to run the country. But from those who have done so, let me explain to you how the competence works. The PNM put a document in the parliament. As you all know, we are doing some major upgrades at Petrotrin. Has to be done to ensure that we produce a product that the international market can buy. So we started off doing it with some estimates that were relatively low. And then the figures start getting larger and larger. And then the government puts in the parliament, in the budget documents, that the Petrotrin upgrade has grown considerably. You know what happens? 15 UNC people in the parliament, 15 of them, not one, 15 of them go through a budget debate and not one of them saw or understood the implication of what was happening at Petrotrin. Not his competence. And if it was one incompetent leader, we can deal with that. But two? Winston Dukran was leader of the opposition, had the opportunity to respond to a budget presented by the PNM. The man left the parliament and went home to sleep. When he came back, the budget debate was over. He never said a word in a budget debate. It must be the only time in the world where an opposition leader had the opportunity to respond to a budget debate and it passed him by and he didn't know. But that's not all. I told you I was concerned about the outcome of the elections. Because they're saying it's like 1986 all over again. They're saying that. We're not saying that. But there's some similarities. Because you see, they're offering you a lot of things and they all cost money.